Welcome to the Linfield University Summer Internship Showcase. I'm still Michael Hampton, and I serve as the Director of Career Development. And joining us is the internship guru herself, Christy McKay.
Thanks, Michael. We have several VIP guests with us tonight. First and foremost, our incredible students who've put a lot of time and energy into their internship experiences and into their presentations for this evening. We welcome and want to acknowledge our generous partners from First Federal, the supervisors and coworkers from our student internship sites, Linfield faculty and staff, especially Joe Wilforth, our new Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences, and Jennifer Madden, our new Dean for the School of Business. Also want to welcome our student colleagues and everybody else who was able to be here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Tonight, we get to experience the comprehensive highlights from summer internships through the lens of 19 of you students who are online across a multitude of academic disciplines, supported by a diversity of resources, and all in total, a little bit over $48,000 for internships this summer as part of this program. The funding sources came from the Presidential Impact Internship Program, which is sponsored by the Glenn L. and Helen Jackson Endowment, the Rosie Tucker Charitable Trust, the Deborah Olson Public Service Internship Scholarship, the Career Development Impact Fund, and the McMinnville Community Engagement Internship Program sponsored by First Federal. The intention of these funds is to support students in an internship experience they may not otherwise be able to complete. We are excited the students will share with you the outcomes of their experiences. And the McMinnville Community Engagement Internship Program is an award-winning partnership between First Federal Savings and Loan and Linfield University, and it was started 11 years ago. This year, we moved the opportunities for selected local nonprofits to host interns in the summer instead of the spring semester, which resulted in increased student hours at their sites. Thank you very much to First Federal for stepping up big time. They doubled their financial commitment this year.
So tonight we have with us the President and CEO of First Federal Savings and Loan, Jim Schlotfeldt, and we've asked Jim to share a few words. And I just unmuted you, Jim.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Well, anyways, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Jim Schlotfeldt, President and CEO of First Federal. This is one of my favorite events of the year because we can see how our future leaders are impacting our own community today. So First Federal and Linfield coordinated this program, as Michael said, 10 or 11 years ago. It's in this time, we're now seeing 51 students develop into professionals through this program. Our unique internship program allows us to serve your educational needs, gain valuable real-world experience, and support the needs of our community organizations. So, as many of you know, First Federal is dedicated to supporting our community organizations because they continuously play a vital role in building a healthy community and providing critical services that contribute to economic stability and mobility. New roles this year have allowed them to further develop their services and grow to support our community members. I'd like to congratulate Michael Hampton and Christy McKay in this very successful program. It's an important measure to facilitate training, integration, employment in a skilled workforce, and they do an incredible job with it year after year. So I also wish to congratulate each and every one of the interns that have participated so successfully in the program, and I wish you all the best in the future, and that this program will facilitate your integration in the workforce as intended. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and we very much appreciate our partnership with you and your team. And there's other First Federal team members out there. Kathy, we know you're there, and thank you so much.
So internships in summer 2020 looked very different. I know that we all probably stared at screens longer than we ever thought possible. Our interns didn't necessarily meet their supervisors or their colleagues in person. They had to navigate a new way to work and learn. Linfield interns handled this change with professionalism and grace, and we're proud to share their successes tonight.
One of our highlights of the summer is to meet with these stellar interns multiple times during their professional development sessions. From a student and career development perspective, the goal of our cohort sessions was to inspire participants to embrace a holistic approach to their internship. We encourage them to recognize and appreciate the professional development, career exploration, workplace experience, academic relevance, vocational meaning, cultural understanding, and community engagement of experiential education. Through assignments and individual work, students developed professional goals, a mission for their life and career, an elevator pitch, and accomplished several informational interviews.
Now we get to see these student summaries of their internship experiences. Each intern had 3 to 4 minutes to share in their pre-recorded videos.
So enough with this boring talking stuff. Let's get to the actual content of our terrific students.
All right, here we go.
We need some sounds, I think.
Can you hear that now?
To my cohort, I learned so much from you all. And lastly,
Yeah.
thank you
Can you start it over, Christy?
my mentor.
There we go.
First, I want to express my great gratitude to everyone that has made this program possible. Thank you so much to Career Development and to the Rose Tucker Charitable Trust internship program for funding my internship this summer. And thank you to my cohort. I learned so much from you all. And lastly, thank you to Ruth Ellen Hogue, my mentor and supervisor, for providing invaluable guidance and encouragement day to day. I think that you'll see from my images while I'm speaking that I had a rich and colorful experience this summer. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Camille Lubach, and I'm from Santa Barbara, California. My majors at Linfield University are studio art and Spanish, but my interests extend to biking, eating, yoga, cats, and gardening, of course. But it's interesting because, like all of you, I was more sheltered than ever this summer because of the pandemic. But at the same time, I was extending as an artist, expanding as an artist, working in a socially distanced but very vibrant community known as the Funk Zone. And here it is. Let me make myself small. Ooh, okay. So, the Funk Zone. This internship experience has allowed me for the first time to take what I've been learning, for instance, language and culture, curatorial skills, professional communication, and test it out in the working world. And look how lovely it is. As a gallery intern, I acted as assistant for artist and gallery manager Ruth Ellen Hogue, and here she is looking lovely in front of her mural. This entailed preparing the space for bi-weekly exhibitions, producing a short film, promoting art collection, and communicating with other business owners in this colorful art neighborhood. I found that my status as an intern and a Linfield University student was like a magic key that made people eager to share their expertise with me, from creating lovely sculptures to their Oriental rug collections. I'm most proud of that I developed professional relationships with successful artists, collectors, and members of the art world. And I'm almost certain that these people will be a part of my life for a long, long time. I feel like I've arrived back at Linfield with a new database of experiences. First, I have not one answer, but multiple answers to the questions that I get asked frequently, which is, how can you make money with art? How can you lead a good life? But not everyone, but my supervisor, the gallery residents next door, the artists I interviewed were people who are doing great things through art and are greatly, greatly satisfied. This knowledge empowers me to pursue a job with optimism and tenacity. whether it's as a curator, as a gallery owner, or a studio artist, and to contribute to the art field. In getting my hands dirty, hanging artworks and painting pedestals, here's one of my art pieces, I've become more curious about other avenues of exploration, such as 2D design and art history, both of which I'll study here at Linfield with greater enthusiasm and respect than had I not caught a glimpse during my internship. I learned from my cohort seminars the power of reflecting and processing an experience, including the many, many mistakes. And a lot happened in a short amount of time, and I'm just starting to figure out everything I've learned. So continuing to share my experience with my professors and peers has helped me to make sense of all that's happened and to feel immense gratitude for all it has given me. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Lena Wong, and I'm currently a sophomore at Linfield. Right now, I'm planning on majoring in either marketing or accounting, and this summer I had the ability to intern at the Hawaii Technology Academy and at the Hawaii Mission Houses. So first, let me introduce my internship sites. So at the HTA, it is an online public charter school, and their mission is to educate students through online, face-to-face, and independent learning. And at the Hawaii Mission Houses, their mission is to preserve and appreciate Hawaii through history. So at these internships, I had several roles, and it would include things like organizing old accounts payables paper and moving them to online sources by scanning. And I also worked with the accounting software called QuickBooks, where I had to input data from bills so that checks could be cut for them. And additionally, I was responsible for updating payroll on Excel spreadsheets and logging them down as a QuickBook journal entry. And from this internship experience, something I learned like in the professional aspect would be how to be productive. So every time I went to work, I made sure that I made the most out of my time. And I think that is important to being professional. And additionally, something I was able to carry from Linfield was my curiosity aspect. And so that's why I was able to ask a lot of questions and make sure that I knew what was expected of me from when I would do tasks and at my internship. And from my internship, I'm hoping to incorporate the terms I've learned in my financial accounting class this fall. And I also hope to be able to apply what I've been physically doing to the contents of the class. And for my career exploration, I really learned that I enjoyed organization and working in the office. And I learned that the people you work with can make your job enjoyable no matter what you do. So I'm going to take that into consideration when I'm looking for a job. And this program and its seminar sessions really supported me because it motivated me to really look back on my experiences rather than just going through the motion of things. So for instance, it made me reflect on how well I was being treated and set the standards for the future for when I'm looking for a job. And before I conclude this presentation, I would really like to thank Miss Gabby and Joyce for keeping me busy throughout the summer and teaching me a lot about accounting and providing me with this worthwhile internship experience. Working with you has definitely got me thinking more about a career in accounting. And I would also like to thank Career Development for your time and your words of wisdom throughout my internship. I was definitely able to apply them. And last but not least, I would like to send a huge thank you to the Rose Tucker Charitable Fund for making this internship experience possible for me. Thank you again.
Hi, my name is Genevieve O'Brien, and for the Summer Internship Showcase, I will be talking about my internship at Henderson House. Like I said, my name is Genevieve O'Brien, and I'm a senior at Linfield University. I'm majoring in sociology with a minor in elementary education. On top of my internship at Henderson House, I've had an internship at Juliet's House, and a tutor at Lindenwood Bell, and had other experiences and volunteer chances through my time at Linfield. Internship site and mission. Henderson House is located in McMinnville, Oregon. The mission is stated as this: to provide culturally aware outreach, education, and services for victims of domestic and sexual violence through leadership, hope, and respect for thriving families. My internship expectation was 20 hours a week. I found this through the Career Center, and I was given different connections throughout the Yamhill community, and Henderson House ended up being the best fit for my passion. My roles and responsibilities. I was in charge of formatting and finalizing the 2019 annual report. This took all of the statistics, data, and information that was all combined into one report and given at their meeting with the whole board. I also researched protocol at different sites and how to best assist and support those in times of need. This was especially important during COVID-19 with new rules and regulations coming out. We wanted to make sure that we were best helping those while also protecting them. I ran the front desk by answering phone calls and helping connect those in needs to our advocates. I did outreach for the greater Yamhill community and organized donations. Before my internship started, I was in charge of completing 40 hours of online training. What I learned. There was a lot that I took away, but these were some of the highlights that I have taken into my greater education. I have understood the importance of taking on the task of each day and the importance of teamwork and communication. No 2 days will ever look the same, especially working at this advocacy center. I realized how much was up in the air and depended a lot about the expectations and what my needs were for that day. I learned and grew my phone skills, and I learned how to self-advocate and advocate for others. My Linfield education applied to my internship. My ability to take initiative rather than wait and told what to do was very important. With so much going on, a lot of my job was taking responsibility and figuring out what needed to be done. Critical thinking and being quick on my toes was imperative. My confidence in my ability to participate in group projects and speak up in meetings played a great role throughout the summer. Applying my internship to my Linfield education, my ability to see systemic issues grew. The hands-on experience gave me the path to find my own voice while also being able to advocate for others. It gave me the chance to dig deeper and find my passions in the classroom and my own voice. The seminar supported my internship experiences in a various and copious amount. The elevator pitch was one of the biggest things as it helped my self-confidence to grow. It helped me to learn how to best advocate and tell others about what I'm able to bring to the table. With COVID-19 and the uncertainty that it posed, it was helpful to bounce ideas and talk to others who were in the same boat as me. I was also able to build a community and connect with others who have similar passions. How my internship has prepared me for post-Linfield life. This has solidified that I want to help others. Mental health is not a well and seen helped throughout the community, and there's a stigma in the United States. I want to help break societal constraints and encourage others to be more open to differences and make mental health resources more of an opportunity and something that more can access. I wanted to say thank you before I wrap it up. Linfield Career Development took a chance on me and helped me to find an internship that was the best of my fit. Henderson House also took me in during a time of uncertainty with COVID-19 and relied on me to help them. I would not have been able to get the experience and help learn more what I want to do post Linfield. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Sierra Dickinson. I'm a senior here at Linfield studying physical activity and fitness with a sports management minor. And I just got done interning with a special forces fitness group called Floor 3 up in Tacoma, Washington. I'm really looking forward to extending my skills and knowledge into the health and fitness industry. A little bit about my internship. Floor 3 stands for Tactical Human Optimization, Rapid Rehabilitation, and Reconditioning Program. So I worked alongside physical therapists, strength and conditioning coaches, sports psychologists, a dietitian, and a data analysis. And we all just worked together to allow for better physical fitness and readiness of the U.S. Army Special Forces soldiers. My role and responsibilities, no day ever looked the same. I did work with a couple shoulder patients consistently. I also assisted patients with STEM, heat and ice, game readies, and blood flow restriction, which you can see in the picture is what I am doing. And then I just observed physical therapists when they evaluated patients, and they described to me like the tests that they're looking for and all that type of stuff. And then I also got to train with the staff after my shift, which was super awesome. It was really hard, but I really did enjoy it. What I learned as a professional is just to be flexible, being able to communicate really well, and time management. Time management is huge, especially in this sort of atmosphere where guys are, PCSing in 2 weeks, applying in a month, or they have, hard rucks for the next week and a half that you got to get them through. So yeah, being able to work with the time you're given and treatment-wise is super important. What I incorporated from my Linfield education into my internship was the courses, especially strength and conditioning, anatomy, and kinesiology. Those were huge in this type of setting. And then what I would take away from my internship into the real world would just be problem solving, communicating, and cues for exercise. It was really good practice to be able to explain to people what is happening, why they're doing certain things, because a lot of them don't understand the anatomy or the reason behind a lot of it. So just being able to communicate that in simpler terms is a huge plus. And then I really love this internship site just because I got to experience everything that I'm interested in one big warehouse type of building. I feel like a lot of people might have to, go to the gym, go to a dietitian, go to, different places for different people, but, the physical therapist and everyone was right there in one building, super awesome. And then I did find a new love for nutrition and diet, working with the dietitian. And then it opened my eyes as well to not only civilian jobs, but, there are military positions for jobs in the health fitness world, as well as GS positions, which is good to look at if you are, interested in traveling around the world and moving every so often. And then, of course, I just got more networking for future resources. And this seminar really supported me with my internship. It connected me with other students, of course. I feel at first we were a little lost, but by the end of it, everyone really knew what they were supposed to be doing. And then it allowed for funding for a non-paid internship, which was super awesome. They got me in contact with that. And they allowed me to just kind of reflect on what I was doing all summer with other students as well. So that was super cool. And then I just wanted to say thank you to a few people, especially my dad, for getting me in contact with Dr. Anya Rapp, who is running this Thor 3 Special Forces site. He is retired Special Forces himself. And then I just also wanted to thank Dr. Anya Rapp for, allowing me to get some hands-on experience in person, especially during a global pandemic. And then a shout out to Rose Tucker Charitable Trust Internship Program for funding me for this non-paid internship. I had an awesome time this summer, and yeah, thank you everyone for all your support.
Hi, my name is Meg Angier, and I'm a current senior and will be receiving my Bachelor of Science in Environmental Policy and minor in Biology from Linfield University. I have many passions outside of classes that relate to my major, including my Greater Yamhill Watershed Council internship that I held over this summer. The Greater Yamhill Watershed Council is a local nonprofit that works to repair creekside habitats, educate community members, and inventory creek sites for possible future projects. Cozine Creek is a tributary to the Yamhill River and part of the Greater Yamhill Watershed, which runs through 10 cities and towns, including an array of industrial, agricultural, and residential areas. Cozine Creek begins in the coastal foothills southwest of McMinnville and flows into the urban areas, including Linfield University's campus, before merging with the South Yamhill River. Cozine is a small waterway of big importance. It has been identified as a focus area for water quality pollution and Class A invasive weeds by the Oregon Department of Agriculture and Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. With its relevance to the current watershed and its proximity to many community members, Cozine Creek is a valuable freshwater source. During the course of my internship, I worked on a variety of outdoor hands-on projects while also working on hybrid-based projects due to COVID-19 restrictions. Because of the size of the Cozine Creek, there are many different access points throughout McMinnville which allow for various site projects. I worked on signage that promotes the different kinds of plants found in the creekside habitats. These are going to be hung up on small plaques throughout the riparian area in Cozine, as well as other local creek riparian areas. In addition to the signs, I worked on planting native plants, including ninebark, cascara, bigleaf maple, spirea, native sedges, and rushes. On the other hand, invasive plants impact the ability for natives to succeed. Therefore, many days were spent removing invasives. One of the main invasive species that we were looking for was garlic mustard, which spreads rapidly due to their ability to hitchhike on your shoes to different sites and has only been found along Cozine Creek within the entire Yamhill watershed. One of my favorite projects throughout my internship was the probe deployment. Probes monitor water temperature and have to be manually installed into the creek. A fun fact is that temperatures for the Cozine are recorded once every 30 minutes over the summer months. In addition, I also helped research and purchase a GoPro that will help the Greater Yamhill watershed create videos and photography for connecting the community to habitat projects and volunteer opportunities. Although this internship included many field days, Luke challenged me to push myself professionally. Reaching out to community members and working alongside the Department of Agriculture were a couple of ways I was able to develop my professional skills. Because of these networking opportunities, I feel more confident contacting community members as well as reaching out to possible future job opportunities. Along with improving my networking skills, I was able to apply what I learned in biology of woody plants taught by Dr. John Searing, which taught me over 130 plants within the Pacific Northwest. Thanks to his class, I was able to utilize my identification methods almost every day in the field. Because of the relevance of my policy major, I hope to continue to incorporate different aspects of commerce to form a better understanding through experiences I had this summer. Along with this internship, I gained a better appreciation for how I am going to apply my classroom learning into the real world. Through this internship seminar, I was able to develop myself into a brand, create an elevator pitch, and meet other people from different internships that open the possibilities of jobs after I graduate. This seminar was a really great way to engage what I was doing in the field and develop it into something I could feel confident about academically. I gained so much knowledge this summer thanks to Luke, who was always willing to give me more information regardless of the questions I asked. Luke also taught me the importance of striving for an even bigger picture while also finishing the job at hand. Although I have worked with Luke since coming to Linfield, this internship gave me a better understanding of just how much work he has to do solo and how much volunteers mean to the nonprofit. Luke really inspired me to look onto future career opportunities similar to the Greater Yamhill Watershed Council and aided in my understanding of what post-graduation might look like. I am so appreciative of his support and I look forward to the future of Code. Additionally, I'd like to thank First Federal, which provided me with resources I needed and supported me through this internship. I am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ellie Holstein, and this summer I was a marketing intern at the McMinnville Farmers Market. A little about me is I'm an international relations major and a management minor, and I'm from Austin, Texas. For my internship, I was in charge of all the social media accounts, their Instagram account and their Facebook, and then a big part of my responsibility on market day was to work with vendors, making sure they were in the right spot and following all the rules, especially with COVID. And also to put out little fires because, believe it or not, 40-year-olds still behave like they're 12 and argue about who has the best spot. So I definitely got to learn how to communicate with others and get people to listen to me even when they didn't want to. I also helped with the EBT exchange. So I worked with a program where people on food stamps could exchange their food stamps for tokens and use those at the market. I also got to work with the MDA in the project of closing down 3rd Street so restaurants could open out onto the streets. So I got to pass out posts to close them down and work with volunteers. Some takeaways were that I found out is running social media accounts is really hard. And even though I spend a ton of my time on Instagram and Facebook, it is hard to get marketing, especially when I haven't taken a marketing class yet, but it was a really cool experience anyhow. And I enjoyed looking at the statistics. I also learned the importance of communication, especially when working with vendors and making sure what I was saying was concise and clear. And I also have learned that how to speak with confidence because I definitely, the first 2 weeks of working there, I was having a hard time getting vendors to listen to me. Because I am much younger and I look very young. So once I've got more confident, I was definitely able to assert more, saying, oh, you can't sell before noon, and having people actually listen to me. And it was just a fun way to meet a lot of people and learn how to keep conversation going and being confident about what I'm talking about. I also got to learn how much policy goes into running the farmers market as well as shutting down streets. Like there's this whole association that controls all of it. So that was a really cool experience. Linfield definitely taught me some writing skills, writing Instagram posts. I had a blog for a little bit, but it wasn't getting a ton of traffic, so we decided to take it down. So that Linfield definitely taught me that. It taught me how to think of things more critically, as well as when I took intro to econ, understanding how supply and demand work. So it's interesting observing that on such a small level. I'm just a sophomore, so I'm just dipping into my business education. So this was a fun way to see that in the works. So this seminar helped me to understand what I really want from what I want as a career goal. One of my career goals is I want to be in international management or sales. I definitely learned with this internship. I love to work with people. I love to hear people's stories. I love to make connections with people. And I just love communicating with people. It was really fun. So I really enjoyed just learning what I really want to do and what I'm really interested in. I want to thank the MDA for letting me intern there and my supervisor, Chloe. It was a good time, and I definitely learned a lot. Thank you.
My name is Shailene Grover, and over the course of the summer, I had the exceptional opportunity at interning at All In Sports Foundation. A little bit about me, I'm a junior here at Linfield University studying business management with a focus in human resources. I'm involved both on and off campus, but over the summer, I held a business marketing internship at All In Sports Foundation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit, and it is 100% volunteer-based. It was founded by Steve Garrity, my supervisor, in 1994. So for the past 27 years, they've been providing camps, clinics, and leagues for a variety of children and adults with special needs. They've also pioneered the concept of a unified athletic program. Unified meaning you don't also need special needs to be able to participate. So it creates a really inclusive, diverse community. And we team up with collegiate athletic programs, universities, and various sponsors all over the United States, China, and Mexico. I had 3 main responsibilities over the summer. My first was storytelling. So I created pitch decks, much like the presentation that you're seeing here, to different sponsors and donors. I also standardized a lot of the marketing tools that we use, including these pitch decks, but also different emailing campaigns. And I engaged with the teams, with the sponsors, as well as with the board of directors as I created their biographies for the website. I picked up on 2 main professional skills over the summer. The first, most important one for me was communication, especially over COVID, because we had to be all online. It was really important that we communicated often, clearly, and concisely. And then the second one was organization. Because we use both email, we use Zoom, we use phone, we use text, it was really important to stay organized with our communications so that I could easily keep track of the projects and things that I needed to work on. As a broader impact of things that Linfield has taught me, but then that this internship had really solidified, is to not be afraid to ask for help or clarification. It's really important that you know what you're doing, and if you have any confusion, the time that it takes you to ask could save you a lot more time in the future correcting those mistakes, as well as the meaningfulness of connections. Over the summer, I had a different internship lined up and it fell through due to COVID, but through the use of my personal network, I was able to get this business marketing internship and it's been absolutely incredible. I would not have changed that experience for anything else, but also knowing that change is okay. It's really important to be okay and embrace the gray areas in life. And that's something that I know personally I need to work on, and it's just further solidified that it's totally okay for things to change. So thank you all so much for listening. I want to give a special thanks to Steve Garrity, my supervisor, Michael and Christy, as well as the rest of the career development team, the internship seminar students who have also participated in this throughout the summer. It was really great being able to meet 3 times over the summer and really just connect and listen to your stories, knowing that we're all going through the same experiences. And then the Presidential Impact Internship, as well as the Glenn L. and Helen Jackson Foundation for making this possible. Thank you so much for listening. I have my contact information below if you guys would like to reach out and talk further about this internship opportunity.
Hello everyone, my name is Sierra Miller and I am going to be presenting to you today on my internship at Awaken. As an introduction, I am a senior double majoring in international relations and global cultural studies. As I stated, this summer I interned at Awaken. This is a nonprofit organization in Reno, Nevada, whose mission is to increase awareness and education surrounding the issue of commercial sexual exploitation and provide housing and restoration for its victims. I originally got my passion for nonprofit humanitarian work through my parents fostering kids. I wanted to continue giving back to those who are in less fortunate positions. I also had an enthusiasm to learn about new cultures. I was able to expand this by going abroad last year in Aix-en-Provence, France. This allowed me to expand my French language skills and cultural fluidity. These appreciations for helping others and cultural curiosity brought me to Awaken and gave me a life-changing experience. So at Awaken, I was involved in multiple areas of clientele. With the youth group, there was a summer program to assist with catching the girls up with school and other developmental skills. Something I enjoyed doing was taking these girls to outdoor activities. This assisted with coping mechanisms and creating healthier habits. I would also assist in teaching the girls school topics such as math. In the adult program, there's a drop-in center where women could come in, relax, eat food, and socialize. And if they did choose to do so, they could talk to a social worker. Within the housing program, I was able to drive these women to and from appointments, and I was able to assist in reentry activities such as assisting with computer skills. Considering my professional development at Awaken, I was able to expand my professional communication skills. I had multiple supervisors who were very diverse in the way they gave instructions. I had to be flexible within this. I also connected with women who had experiences beyond my own, creating stronger interpersonal skills. I was also able to see firsthand some logistics of nonprofits such as budgeting and casework. As I stated earlier, my majors are international relations and global cultural studies. Courses in these areas better prepared me for what nonprofit work was going to look like logistically. It also helped me see what to expect and see with legislative work being done in human trafficking. These gave me a larger picture perspective of what human trafficking consists of and what it takes to reduce it. Now, after completing this internship, I will be able to bring back to Linfield a wider knowledge of human trafficking with a deeper, more realistic approach to problem solving. I will also be better at articulating complex situations such as this. During this internship seminar, I learned many things about myself and how to get the most out of my internship. Something I enjoyed doing was working on a mission statement. I learned a lot about myself by narrowing down what I am looking to do. Same goes for an elevator pitch. I was able to pick out relevant experience I've had and turn it towards a career I want. I was also encouraged to speak up and talk to my supervisors if something did not make sense or that I wanted something else out of this internship. Without that advice, I would not have asked for more hands-on learning in nonprofit logistics. Also, the book, Born for This, was wonderful to me. I liked how he put the 3 categories of happiness, wealth, and what you do well into your own personal balance. In the future, I hope to continue in nonprofit humanitarian work. I would be happy doing just about anything involving other people, such as refugee work, but I now have a strong passion for human trafficking and hope to continue this line of work in the long run. Finally, I would like to say thank you to all of the Awaken staff for this opportunity. Also, I want to thank Career Development for this great program, Deborah Olson for this scholarship that I received. I would not have been able to do any of this without the scholarship. And of course, thank you to my friends and family.
Hello, I'm Lucy Gordon. I'm a junior creative writer and media studies minor, and today I'm going to be talking about my summer with the Beaverton Arts Foundation. So my internship site was the Beaverton Arts Foundation, which is located in central Beaverton, and it's a nonprofit organization focused on scholarships for local students, grants for local artists and nonprofit art programs, and also fundraising for the Patricia Reeser Center for the Arts. One of their missions at the BAF is to increase accessibility and interaction with arts in Beaverton. So the PRCA, whose function and slogan is bringing the arts to the center of the city, is to create a multi-purpose art center for the diverse city of Beaverton. Here is a mock-up of what the PRCA is going to look like. So my roles, responsibilities, and accomplishments, I had lots of roles and responsibilities due to my timely application. The BAF was suffering a little bit, honestly, because they had a member retire and then they had to lay someone off due to quarantine budget cuts. So I took on a lot. I wrote letters, newsletter articles, magazine articles, and reports. I did research with donor databases such as Donor Perfect and Donor Search. I did art, a hard hat project that I'm going to show you in a moment, and what I call grunt work, which is typical internship stuff like stuffing envelopes, filing, and spreadsheets. My favorite projects were the mayor letter, where I got to write a congratulatory scholarship letter in the Mayor Denny Doyle's voice, or the hard hat project, where I got to paint a hard hat that would be worn around construction sites for tours. So what did I take from Linfield to the Beaverton Arts Foundation? I took my writing skills. I went from creative writing to business communication, but they're not that different. So it gave me a good foothold. My liberal arts education, which gave me experience in many fields, which was very helpful in my hither and thither sort of internship experience, and my time management skills. And what I'm going to take from the Beaverton Arts Foundation back to Linfield is an understanding of a professional environment and professional expectations, along with my better time management skills. And support from the Impact Internship program that I got was something that, you know, resonated with me from our cohort in the summer, was embracing your inner multi-potentialite. My wide base of skills allowed me to help the Beaverton Arts Foundation in a variety of ways, and actually hadn't hurt me at all. And my choice of major doesn't define my abilities. I still have lots that I can do to help. Financial support also very much helped me. That stipend from Linfield allowed me to work with the Beaverton Arts Foundation. Like I said, they were put in a hard spot due to COVID-19. So the fact that I had financial support from the school was something that allowed me to work at the Beaverton Arts Foundation this summer. My takeaways from this experience is, well, what did I learn as a professional? That I need to take my creativity and can-do attitude everywhere. In an exit interview, Rachel, my advisor, said those were two of the most important things that I brought to the group. I integrated myself into the nonprofit immediately, and flexibility is key. Something that all of us need to learn to sort of survive in a not so much unstable, but sometimes unpredictable environment, and never be afraid to ask questions. Something, when it comes to where I'll go next, I found that I would rather be directly involved in the arts, and that's okay. But as a backup, I am a good fit in the nonprofit environment, and I have good hands-on experience. So I would like to give special thanks to, from the Beaverton Arts Foundation, Rachel Hershey, my advisor, along with the two others, Madison Berry Sellers and Lonnie Faith. And from Linfield, I would like to thank Christy McKay and Michael Hampton, along with my fellow Impact interns. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I just graduated from Linfield University with a BA in Finance and Math. I'm from Mercer Island in the Seattle area where I'm living now, and currently job searching for entry-level finance and accounting positions. Over the summer, I interned with a startup pharmaceutical company that my dad actually formed called NTOX Sciences. It's mostly funded by the NSF, the National Science Foundation, which is a program that funds research proposals. So NTOX is marketing an instrument they've called the Bear Fuse, and it enables a more efficient method for drug toxicity testing. As of now, the company is just starting to generate revenue through its services, but it eventually aims to launch the Bear Fuse as a product as well. This is a picture of what the Bear Fuse looks like. It's just a picture taken during an experiment. So my internship was very project-based, as I was working entirely from home. One of my first projects was to calculate the overall cost of operations, so basically determining how much it costs to perform an experiment. This was really helpful in creating financial projections and making decisions about how much to charge clients for the company's services. I also worked on creating an overall picture and timeline of where the company should be in the future so it can keep moving forward and stay on track. The project I ended with, and I'm still working on, is building and updating the website. Especially now that a lot of business interactions are happening online, this is a really important component for the company so that clients and customers can easily access information about the offered services and also reach out, set up a meeting, or just to request more information. So when I started working on the website, there had already been one set up through Weebly. So this was the original homepage that was already there. And this is the new homepage that I've been working on. I've essentially just tried to reorganize some of the information so it's a little easier to navigate and also add a lot more content. Like this page is completely new. It just has a more finalized list of the services that the company offers and goes into more detail about what each service is and what it entails. So some takeaways from the internship, I'd say one of the most important things I learned is a big picture of what it takes to start and run a business. There's just so many details and logistics that you have to think about, like logos, having a website, setting up company bank accounts. There's a lot of legal requirements that you have to go through to start a company. And there's also a lot of market research that you have to do to see how in demand a product or service is. So now I think I have a much better grasp of the overall process to starting a company and all the elements of a good business plan. Another takeaway was the importance of having a defined plan with written objectives on a timeline. Setting deadlines and timeframes, even if they're tentative ones, just helps keep track of all the projects being done. Especially with a startup, there's just so many things to be done, and you need a way of keeping track of what's being done, what still needs to be done, and what's already been completed. Lastly, I want to say thank you to Linfield University, the Rose Tucker internship program, and to Tim, my supervisor, for all his help over the summer. This has been a really great opportunity, and I hope that Linfield can continue to offer programs like these in the future. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Amanda Reeser, and this summer I interned with McMinnville Parks and Rec as a youth engagement specialist. A little more about me is I'm a senior at Linfield University. I'm majoring in finance and minoring in both economics and sport management. I also play softball and am the equipment manager for the football team. Some of my favorite hobbies are going to the lake, being active outside, and hanging out with my family. When I was with McMinnville Parks and Rec, I got to learn all about all their 4 different divisions by sitting down and chatting with each of the managers. That included their community center, their aquatic center, their senior center, and their recreational sports center. More specifically, I worked with the community center on Parks and Rec Month. This year was a little different with COVID, so we utilized this app called Goose Chase. With Goose Chase, we had 5 different challenge weeks, and for each week, we had 30 challenges related to a theme. So there's nature, there's art, play, community, and fitness. These challenges, you could have a text submission answer, take a photo or a video submission, or you could answer using GPS location. And each mission you completed, you totaled points, so it created a little bit of a competition. In addition, for Goose Chase, we also had one or two in-person events a week, like outdoor game night with spike ball and cornhole and some soccer, or yoga in the park and story and art in the park. I helped plan these events and used event planning sheets with location, description, objective, and organizing everything. Through this experience, what I learned is you can only plan up to 80% of an event. There are so many different factors that go into play that you just can't plan for. You can't plan for COVID, you can't plan for the weather, you can't plan if someone shows up sick or doesn't attend. And I also learned that Parks and Rec does a lot more than what most people think. And a lot of times that the kids who do the program stick around to help lead the programs when they get older, which is such a unique aspect. And more specifically, as to my internship job, I needed to engage the parents and not mostly the kids, because it was the parents that would bring the kids, and to plan for more younger kids. So some of my cross-learning, what I took from Linfield Education was just communicating with professors and collaboration with students. Like group projects don't get away, so how to work with a team. That really helped in my internship. And what I will take from my internship into my learning is just being more flexible and adaptable, and not everything can be 100% planned out. This helped with my career exploration because it made me realize what I really want to do. I like to be more hands-on work. I like to be active and interacting with others. So the in-person events were what I really like to do. This seminar really found it encouraging, talking to all the other students and how they had similar experiences, trying to figure out exactly what they were supposed to do in the beginning. And it was fun or interesting listening to how COVID-19 changed everyone's experience. So I'd like to thank McMinnville Parks and Rec and First Federal for providing me this valuable internship experience. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Maggie Fiocchi. I'm a junior majoring in economics and psychology. and this summer I interned for Your Community Mediation, or YCM. YCM's background: they're a local nonprofit organization located in McMinnville, Oregon, who provides facilitation and conflict management services for schools, businesses, courts, and residents of Yamhill and Tillamook County. Their mission statement is to empower people to make positive changes in the way they respond to conflict. I personally was hired to help with their peer-to-peer mediation program, which originated in Dayton Elementary School, which allows elementary school kids to take responsibility of their conflicts, and it trains them to become mediators themselves. Obviously, with COVID, it becomes really difficult to go to elementary schools and train kids, so my role kind of shifted into more community outreach. I was able to take charge of the social media at YCM, including their Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. This summer, I also got to make a lot of connections. As an RA, I was able to connect YCM with Linfield Residence Life, and later they were able to partake in resident advisor training. I learned as a professional the importance of taking initiative and ownership of my actions. I also learned how to use my connections and networking skills to spark opportunity, as seen with our connection with Residence Life. I also utilized my Linfield education. I was able to keep an open mind this summer. Every time I would conduct phone interviews and hear people talk about the conflicts they experienced, I always realized that there's two sides to every story. And I expect to incorporate a lot of the lessons from my internship into my learning, my coursework, and my major. This includes the notion of nonviolent communication. I read this book by Marshall B. Rosenberg over the summer, and it helped me value understanding and the power of empathy when it comes to people. So this internship didn't necessarily help me narrow down my career choices, but it did give me more confidence in my ability to have difficult conversations, to navigate the workplace, and to communicate with employees in a productive manner. Some of the noteworthy seminar points throughout the summer is our session on mission statements. This session really helped me discover my passion for community building and nonprofits. Career development also provided a lot of encouragement and guidance in conducting an informational interview, and I was able to do this with Kathy Beckwith, who's a volunteer mediator who's written a few books, and she actually piloted the peer-to-peer mediation program in Dayton Elementary School. I also learned a lot from our book this summer, The Defining Decade, especially the concept in the chapters on identity capital and the importance of investing in yourself. This was really big for me. Lastly, I just want to give a big thank you to Chuck Padishall, my supervisor of this summer, and his dog Jazzy, as you can see pictured above. And I also want to thank Career Development and especially Christy McKay for helping me find this internship in the first place and just allowing me to have this opportunity. And lastly, I really want to give a huge thank you to First Federal for providing a stipend for the summer so I could get paid. That really means a lot. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Erica Olivera Gutierrez. I am a second-year student at Linfield University, environmental science and political science major. My mission is to help make the world a better place. I had the opportunity of interning in my own community with the Latino Community Association, whose main focus is to help empower Latinos in my community. I'm looking to take my job skills abroad and work for a nonprofit in Latin America or other developing countries. My internship was located in Central Oregon, specifically Madras, Oregon, also where I grew up. My greatest accomplishment for this summer was helping create the first ever virtual Latino Fest, where we celebrate all of the things that the Latinos do in the community for us and just bring awareness to them and try to educate people in our community that, Latinos aren't just all Mexican. I helped contact local businesses and artists who were Latin American to be a part of our video. I also was able to help out with the Oregon Workers Relief Fund. One of my favorite things to do, help distribute food boxes, masks, and hand sanitizer. The things that I learned as a professional over my internship, communication is key, and especially in the COVID world where everything is virtual and everything is through email. I think that the most important thing that I learned over my internship was to not be afraid to ask clarifying questions, because it's a lot better to be able to know exactly what I need to get done, especially when working with legal documents. So it's better to just ask questions and not think that you're going to be annoying. It's better to just be sure than anything else. I was able to utilize the communication skills that I learned very quickly when arriving on campus, with going to office hours with professors, making sure I'm talking to them professionally. In regards to career exploration and direction, I was very grateful for the opportunity to be able to intern in an office while we're in a global pandemic. A lot of people were able to do that. However, the overarching passion of helping the environment and hopefully going to the Peace Corps and working in third world countries is I am very excited to be exploring that a little bit more, but I know that I'll be able to tie both of these skills that I've learned to communicate with people. Over the course of the summer, we were also required to do a reading, and I chose to read The Defining Decade. In that book, I remember there was one thing that stood out to me, and it was the value of weak ties. Basically, that's people who you've met before, who know other people, basically building your connections. And I thought that was very valuable for me as well, because I feel I have met like a lot of those people in my life. Like I had a teacher who worked for the Red Cross, or I had a advisor who works in the political sphere. And so I have those ties, and I actually was able to secure this internship by asking my advisor. She's more like a friend. I asked her if she could help me out finding any internships, and she said the Latino Community Association would love to have you. First of all, I would like to start off by thanking my family for always supporting me in any career aspiration or just anything in general in life. I would also like to thank Michael and Christy for giving me the opportunity and funding to do this internship over the summer. As supervisors, Ana Bueno and Cynthia Jorgensen with the Latino Community Association for teaching me everything that I learned over the course of the summer and just building those connections. I'd really like to give a big thanks to Kim Schmidt also for always believing in me. She is definitely one of my mentors. I'm very humbled and grateful that I was able to have the opportunity to intern with a nonprofit whose main focus is helping empower Latinos in my community. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night.
Hi everyone, my name is Reagan Barr, and I had an internship this summer through the Student Nutrition and Activity Clinic for Kids program, or the SNAC program. A little bit about me. I'm an exercise science major at Linfield University, and I'm pursuing a graduate degree as a physician's assistant. I'm very active in many organizations on campus, including my internship right now at the SNAC program. My interest in a medical-based profession has led me to pursue clinical hours for hands-on patient care through this internship. My internship role has a couple different parts. I am lead intern and also the social media coordinator, which means I am designated as our main communication liaison between the board, supervisor, and other interns. I am the creator and coordinator of all of our social media content. I'm able to deliver lessons to patients and track progress through our hospital database, and I'm in charge of annual events hosted by our program. As an intern, I've learned a lot. Number one being communication is key. Also, professionalism when dealing with different types of personalities is a big one. Being an active listener and also being prepared and adaptable. How has Linfield's education helped prepare me? Through my nutrition and HHPA courses, they've really given me a foundation to better understand the lessons that I am delivering to kids and their parents, and has also allowed me to create social media content based on what I already know. How will I apply the internship to my education or major? The leadership skills will be important moving forward with other positions that I hope to hold. And applying my experience with different personalities to my classmates and professors, along with using the internship, it will help me enforce and build on the concepts I've already learned in my background of nutrition and exercise science. How will this internship impact my future? It will allow me to gain clinical hours for my graduate program. I am able to learn hands-on patient experience and gain professional experience in a medical setting, like in a hospital and charting medical records. How did the internship seminar help me? So through conversations, they really helped me learn how to better my communication in a professional setting for sure. And then they also gave me content ideas for social media and taught me the importance of an internship in my overall future. Overall, I want to thank the Student Nutrition and Activity Clinic for Kids program, because without them, I wouldn't have even been able to have this opportunity. The Rose Tucker Foundation internship program for funding this, and also the Linfield University's Career Center for allowing me to have this seminar this summer.
And then this is my presentation for my brand loyalty internship with Walnut City Music Festival. Walnut City Music Festival's mission states that Partners for Parks is a Yamhill County-based nonprofit working to enhance and engage our community in local green spaces. Its major program, Walnut City Music Festival, raises support for building an outdoor amphitheater space in the McMinnville area. And usually this is a 2-day event that happens in Lower City Park, where vendors come out and serve beverages and food, along with bands playing. My internship site, I was a remote intern, which means I was mostly working from home, other than our weekly meetings on Mondays. My internship duties included research, creating and maintaining brand awareness, managing social media platforms, assisting with festival planning that was COVID friendly, brainstorming, creating and carrying out digital marketing campaign, attending weekly meetings, and developing business to consumer and business to business relationships. What I learned accountability. With being a remote intern, I had to create a calendar and make sure I was getting everything done that I needed to. Flexibility with COVID. The festival didn't turn out how we wanted it to this year, but we ended up still honoring it with this Instagram challenge. And then I learned how to plan and create social media and marketing materials, social media management, project management tools like Trello and Slack, and then actually carrying out a digital marketing campaign. Classes I looked back at during this internship from Linfield was Intro to PR Writing, Social Media Theory and Practices. All 3 of these classes taught me how to carry out a communication campaign digitally and other tactics such as brochures, newsletters, all the things you can think of. And then I applied this by making a digital marketing campaign for my internship, which was an Instagram challenge that encouraged locals to tag us and tag local businesses. It was a lot of fun. How I would bring this experience into my career? Well, I actually am currently working at a digital marketing agency. I was a remote social media specialist. So a lot of things I learned from Linfield and this internship I brought to this career position, and it's been a lot of fun. Career exploration. Overall, this internship taught me that I need structure, enjoy social media management, and like creating relationships with others. Seminars. I enjoyed creating my elevator pitch. It helped me a lot in all the interviews I had this summer as a graduated senior. The book I read was Born for This, which also helped me narrow down what I wanted to pursue as a entry-level jobs. And then having these seminar meetings also held me accountable to doing assignments and seeing people over Zoom, because I didn't get to see a lot of people other than my meetings, and then these Zoom meetings as well. Thank you, Joe and Katie, for always being so kind and amazing supervisors. First Federal for the funding and stipend. Linfield for giving me this internship opportunity as a graduated senior. And then, of course, the one and only Dr. Weidman for teaching me everything I know. Thanks, guys.
Hi, my name is Courtney Spencer Tolentino, and this is my summer internship showcase on the For Angel Foundation. A little bit about me: I'm a psychology major. I plan on graduating this fall of 2020 from Linfield University. I'm from Kapolei, Hawaii, it's where I currently reside. I have a huge passion for animals and working with nonprofits. I served as an intern at Juliet's house back in McMinnville from September 2019 to February of 2020.
And most recently, I interned with the Fringe Foundation from March 2020 to August of 2020. A little bit about the Fringe Foundation. Our mission is to rescue underprivileged, unwanted dogs and to strengthen the human-animal bond in our community by educating the public about animal welfare. I work directly with Tiffany Kim. She's the executive director and president of the Fringe Foundation. Their story is that they were established in October 2014. They just made 5 years this year. By a small group of friends who had a passion for helping the community while also making a difference in the individual lives of animals and of people. They operate within a foster network of trusted volunteers that share the same passion in giving dogs a chance of a life full of love. So a little bit about what I did at the Fringe Foundation as an intern. I was a program assistant. I conducted reference calls with potential foster and adopted families. I did well over 50 or 60 applications. And we got to house all the dogs that we had. I was in charge of posting updates on their social media platforms with current events. We had contests, giveaways. I was in charge of photo and video content. I transported animals and supplies to families, and I took them to vet appointments. And I assisted with planning events for the foundation and served as a lead point person on projects. This is just a couple of photos of dogs that we had that we were able to house and just some happy people that got to adopt some of our dogs. This is me taking Foot to the vet. She was so great and she was so sweet. And then I also did a lot of the postings for the Fringe Foundation page, either being about the day of the week, anything about our promotions, anything about dogs we had, I was in charge of. And this is just more of me planning and doing my reference callings for adoption families or for foster families and just the different people we worked with, and then just some plans we had for giveaways for their 5th birthday. So through my professional experience, I really got to learn, time management, working with others that weren't in my same backgrounds or age groups. I collaborated with a lot of awesome local businesses. I was always challenging myself to strive to be the best I can be, going beyond my comfort zone and really just believing myself and my capabilities of wanting to attain more, especially through the foundation. Through my Linfield education, I learned to be open-minded with my new experiences, always facing challenges when they arise, embracing them, processing them, and moving on, really persevering through it. I utilized a lot of my problem-solving skills. I was always prepared with a backup plan if things didn't work out. And I really felt comfortable with speaking up for what I believe in, which is I feel Linfield's very known for. The application of my internship, I really learned to be more patient, understanding things don't always work out the way that you want them to. Deadlines are set for a reason. That's a big one, making sure that you get what you need to get done and to make sure you constantly do it well and putting your best foot forward. When I ask questions, I always asking questions, clarifying things, making sure that I was on the same page as Tiffany. Always making sure that I give my best I can be giving and making sure the best product is put out at the end, and really just double checking my work, making sure it's the best that I can put out. For future work, I would love to keep working with nonprofits. I would love to launch my own dog kenneling business and working with Fringe Foundations or other pet adoption agencies. I'm continuing to collaborate with local and national businesses for fundraising opportunities, continuing my education, taking more courses, being more proactive about my learning. I'm trying new things, thinking outside the box, being creative, and just always striving to be the best in no matter what. Through my summer internship seminar, it was a great support group. It was a great opportunity to collaborate with my friends and fellow classmates. They could be my potential colleagues. They always gave great advice on how to set goals, to be productive, and just to be ready for the workforce. The book, The Defining Decade, When Your 20s Really Matters, really just helped me. It shaped me into what I am today. I really used that book's advice to just really use my 20s to my advantage. We're at that perfect, malleable point in our life where we can be going after opportunities that we want to, and just letting it shape our future. And it was just really great leadership, and it was a really great opportunity, and I'm so glad that I was able to do it. And just a huge mahalo nui loa to Tiffany Kim. She's the executive director and president. Chelsea Zagner, I worked with her at Juliet's house. Christy McKay, Michael Hampton, and especially the Rose Tucker Charitable Trust Internship Program. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great day.
Hello everyone, my name is Stacey Shardy and I'm a junior this year at Linfield University. I'm a Arts and Justice Psychology double major whose mission is to achieve, develop, and inspire justice to individuals struggling within the prison system, especially those with mental disorders. I strongly believe that the criminal justice system needs to be reformed and that the first step is to provide opportunities for those previously incarcerated to readjust themselves into society. Over the summer, I had the opportunity to work with a small nonprofit based in Newburgh, Oregon. It's called Permanent Initiatives, and they exist to inspire and coach community-minded individuals and groups into action that improves our capacity to serve our Yamhill Valley neighbors transitioning from incarceration into mainstream society. My role with Permanent Initiatives was titled the Financial Literacy Intern, and my job was to develop and deliver a financial literacy and empowerment class specific to needs of formerly incarcerated adults working with RI coaches and programs. The class will be used regularly by RI staff and volunteer coaches after the internship is complete. However, I didn't make a class. Instead, I'm trying to make a workbook, and we are trying to give that to coaches so we can give it to our guys as soon as possible. The internship has allowed me to further develop my communication skills and my ability to work with deadlines. I have really learned how to be adaptable in the workplace and come up with a variety of ways to make it to our goals at the end. It had its ups and downs, but each skill and experience shaped me into the professional individual I am today. Education has given me an array of skills that I was able to use for my internship this summer. Being a Arts and Justice Psychology double major, I've used a lot of my knowledge from classes and faculty who has taught them. Having experience of talking in depth with multiple individuals on topics that inspire me has been beneficial to my learning and development as a professional individual. RI has really been the awakening of my career this summer. Before this whole internship started, I was really interested in being involved with a government agency. And investigation work was just kind of what I wanted to dive my life into because I really wanted to bring justice to individuals and be able to kind of serve people. And after doing some really important stuff and diving into some really cool material with RI, I was able to kind of see that I really want to become a judge, and I want to be able to make a difference with the criminal justice system and help develop and create new ways that we can deliver justice in a very equal manner. My summer will be something that I'll never be able to forget, and it's all thanks to my experiences with Permanent Initiatives. Thank you, Jody, for giving me support and helping me develop what career I want to go into and giving me people to talk to and skills and things that I'll continuously use for the rest of my college career as well as my life. Jacqueline, Violet, and Anna Claire, thank you for the awesome discussions and being able to just kind of, sit and chat and have social contact over the summer. Thank you to Nick Bucola, who was my advisor for Arts and Justice, and he really helped me develop these skills and the abilities to really get myself out there. Thank you, Michael, Christy, and the Summer Institute interns for giving me skills and letting me talk about my amazing experiences. Thank you to my roommates for helping me develop this video. I pray it's good enough. And most of all, thank you so much, First Federal, for giving me this opportunity and this chance to work with Permanent Initiatives and with these amazing people. I can't wait to see where my adventure goes, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you.
Hello, my name is Alexandra Feller, and I am a senior here at Linfield with a passion for writing and the environment. I'm majoring in journalism and media studies and minoring in environmental studies, and I'm increasingly inspired by people around the world, climate activists and journalists alike, who have been advocating for our Earth and trying to make change in communities. I think environmental writing and journalism is central to transforming our Earth into a place where people want to continue living. These are all reasons why I chose to intern with a nonprofit land trust organization this summer called Sequoia Riverlands Trust. Sequoia Riverlands Trust is a nonprofit land trust organization based in Tulare County, and they are dedicated to restoring habitats and preserving lands around the valley and protecting them. The valley has historically been agriculturally oriented, and so a lot of the lands have been repurposed for agriculture, causing habitat destruction and disturbance. And so Sequoia Riverlands Trust is just an organization dedicated to helping maintain that. And here in my background is one of their preserves, Blue Oak, and it's up in Springfield. In addition, Sequoia Riverlands Trust also has designed some incredible curriculum that they share with schools around the valley and communities in effort to inspire children and give them meaningful information about the earth so that they'll have more productive interactions with it. So as the communications and marketing intern, I was in charge of running a weekly social media Instagram post called Wildlife Wednesday. And every Wednesday, I would post a picture of wildlife with a caption describing it and explaining how the different wildlife interacted with the ecosystem. In addition, I contributed to their quarterly newsletter by writing an article about the tricolored blackbird. It was a lot of fun and very interesting to learn about the blackbird and their habitat restoration efforts for the blackbird in the Carrizo Plain area. In addition, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would join their AmeriCorps volunteer team and remove invasive species on different preserves around the valley. So here in this picture is me in a thicket of bull thistle holding a beetle on one of our restoration days. I just want to talk a little bit about how my Linfield education has prepared me for this internship. So my Linfield education has been extremely beneficial because through my field-based courses, I've learned how to communicate in the field, take data, and keep up while tromping through thick brush. I think biology courses especially have provided me with a solid and applicable background in how ecosystems function in the real world. So this internship was really cool because I was able to just apply all that knowledge and apply all the plants that I've been learning and biology terms that I've been studying. So that was really interesting. In addition, my journalism classes provided me with writing intensive skills that I need to produce concise articles on deadline, as well as communicate and talk to sources and my editors. So the Presidential Impact Internship Program has helped with seminars and by talking with my peers, develop professionalism. And it became clear really quick in this internship that one of the best things I can do in the professional world is be communicative. And that means not waiting for my bosses to contact me, but contacting them first, taking initiative, showing my face a lot. And at some points during the summer, I just kind of saw a need and wrote or did posts and worked up material to present to my bosses that I felt like the organization could benefit from. And it was often successful. They often were like, thank you for doing this. So yeah. In addition, this internship also provided me with a great career change. I thought that I really wanted to go into journalism, but after this internship, I realized that I really want something where I can be outside a lot. So I've continued to explore pathways that will allow me to have that intermediate relationship. I had the privilege to learn about the AmeriCorps program and the Sierra Nevada Alliance partnership, which work closely to farm out different individuals who want to do field work. So those are two paths that I'll be exploring in the future for jobs. I would just like to thank Linfield. I've been exposed to so many professional atmospheres since I've come here as a freshman, and I'm glad to have been exposed to these situations early on in my career as a journalist and an environmental advocate. I would also like to thank Bud Darwin and Aaron Collins and the AmeriCorps volunteers at SRT. Bud Darwin, the education coordinator, and Aaron Collins, the communications and marketing director, really coached me through this internship and provide a lot of great support and insight. And the AmeriCorps volunteers just proved to me that life is not linear and my career path does not have to be linear. And this is something that Christy and Michael have been telling me throughout the presidential internship program, and just to stop worrying and start doing. So that's been really powerful to kind of see that actually in fruition. In addition, the Linfield Presidential Impact Internship Program provided a lot of financial support to me this summer, which was very helpful as Sequoia Riverlands Trust could not pay me. Which I'm glad that they didn't. I would rather their money go to the land. And so thank goodness for the Presidential Internship Program for their funding. In addition, we were able to have a lot of great check-in meetings with a lot of useful troubleshooting and moments with peers where I was like, oh, I'm having the same problem. And thank goodness that I have this group of people supporting me through my internship that I can check in with and ask questions to. So this internship only furthered my love for the land and passion for protecting it through writing. And I am so thankful for all of the folks who always explain to me why this, why that every time I asked about the land or about writing. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Kenna Tanoy, and this is my presentation about my internship through the Presidential Impact Internship Program for the summer of 2020. A little bit more about myself. I'm a sport management major and an economics minor, and I would love to pursue a career within social responsibility and community outreach within the sports industry. For my internship, I was with the Hawaii High School Athletic Association, which is based in Honolulu. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, the entirety of the internship was online and remote. I was under the supervision of Christopher Chun, who's the executive director, Russell Aoki, who's the associate director, and Natalie Iwamoto, the director of information and marketing. The mission of the HHSAA is it is an educational athletic organization exclusively dedicated to serving 96 public and independent member high schools statewide. My official title was a marketing and research intern, and I reported to all three of the aforementioned individuals. I focused mainly on social media content on Twitter and completed 2 different research projects. First being about transgender athletes and Title IX implications on high school athletics, and the second being about mental health and COVID-19 resources for student athletes, specified for the state of Hawaii. I was also able to attend the NFHS annual summer conference meeting, which had a lot of different webinars and workshops. Here are 2 examples of social media posts I created. And here are the 2 title pages of my research projects. If anyone would like to have copies of either, I'd be happy to send it via email. Some main takeaways and overarching lessons about professionalism that I took from this experience include flexibility, high levels of communication, and keeping up with current events. When I first contacted Chris in December, this internship looked a lot different, but I had to be open-minded and adaptable to change. Communication is super important, not just in regards to how you communicate, but in knowing what to communicate and being concise. And finally, sports is political and everything affects it. I had to pay a lot of attention to national news as well as state news. Applying my Linfield education to this experience was super useful, mainly focused on interconnectivity and balance. I pulled a lot of knowledge and experiences from my gender studies classes and applied it to topics within sports. And for balance, knowing how much to take on at a time to avoid burnout logistically and mentally was super useful in spacing out different projects throughout the summer. For this experience and applying it to future learning, 2 main things would be the importance of research and networking. Holistic research and topic intersectionality can be applied to literally anything, and networking is super important, especially in Hawaii. Everyone knows everyone. It's just building up that confidence, taking that first step. For my career exploration and future direction, it was super interesting and cool to be on the administrative side of high school sports, in contrast to being a student athlete in high school. And in the future, I'd love to pursue more opportunities within operations and event management, specifically focusing on the process of prep work to execution. The summer seminar was super helpful, getting to talk with other students about our shared struggles, even though we had different positions and even organizations. I was also able to expand my personal mission and seeing the crossover into other industries, such as the media and entertainment industry, which are still pretty closely related to the sports industry. Thank you so much to Linfield and the Presidential Impact Internship Program. Thank you to Uncle Lyle Hosoda for introducing me to the HHSAA. Thank you to Chris, Russ, and Nat for being awesome supervisors this past summer. Thank you to Dr. Natalie Welch for answering literally any question I would throw at her. And thank you to my family.
All right, let's give a virtual round of applause to your reaction to all participants. there's a lot that I would want to say, but I think the students' presentations said it all in terms of the power of education at Linfield University and applying that with our community partners out in the field. And thank you so much for attending this evening. We can take questions in the chat if folks want to do that. Not all of the participants are still online based off of their busy student schedules. A lot of support of the students, which is awesome. Again, thank you all for attending. If you would like to support this program in a monetary way or as an internship host site, please contact me, Michael Hampton. It's mhampton@linfield.edu. And, you know, I feel like I'm on raising money for dollars on a TV show or something, and that is the case. It supports students directly in their nonprofit internships and their career journey. So thank you all so much for attending, and be well.